Hi guys, welcome back to another episode in the No Visa Country series. Today we'll be talking about Belize. So let's go. Belize is located in Central America, just below Mexico and to the right of Guatemala. It is the only English-speaking country in that area. The country is divided into 6 districts and has a population of approximately 383,000 people. How long can you stay in Belize? I confirmed with the Belize consulate, because we don't have an embassy, we have a consulate, and they said that we can, as of today, or as of this published video, you are allowed 30 days as a Jamaican. As of today, this is the updated information, and please remember that this information is always changing, so ensure that you call the embassy or the consulate, because we don't have a Belize embassy, we have a consulate. Call the consulate before you travel, so you know how long you can stay there. If you need to stay there more than 30 days, you get 30 days, but you can ask for an extension if you need it. It's not very difficult. This is what they told me. It's not very difficult to get one as a Jamaican. So if you need it, you can always ask for extension. Required documents. All you need to travel to Belize as a Jamaican is your CARICOM passport. I know some Jamaicans might have multiple visa, your passport. You're fortunate to be a citizen of other countries. You need a CARICOM passport, and you need your return ticket. So you have to show evidence that you'll be leaving the country, as well as telling them where you will be staying. That's it. 3 things. How do you get there? Now, there are 2 ways to get there. You can get there either from directly leaving out of Jamaica to go to Panama. Let's not say there are only 2 ways. I know 2 methods. I'm sure there are other ways to get into the country, but if you can either travel on your CARICOM passport, or you can use your visa, your US visa, right? And that will help you to travel to the US first and then to Belize. Or you can travel to Panama, which is the hub for Copa Airlines, and as Copa Airlines, if you're traveling through or with Copa Airlines, then it's going to take you to Panama first, and then they're going to take you to Belize. Now here's the interesting thing, or I should say the very important thing. Before you go to travel to Belize, you have to know that you might need a tourist card for Panama. Let me explain. If you're going with Copa Airlines, which is gonna take you to Panama and then to Belize, based on how the flights are arranged, by the time Copa Airlines leaves from Jamaica to Panama, the last flight for Belize would have already left. Therefore, you might need to stay overnight. Now, to stay overnight in Panama, you're gonna need a tourist card. I have seen prices for $15, $5, $30, but I will call the Panama embassy and confirm that with you and let you know what the actual price is in the following video that's coming, because Panama will be next. But just know that if you're going with Copa Airlines, and chances are if you don't have a visa anywhere else, you might have to go to through Copa Airlines, and you're gonna go to Panama and chances are you're gonna miss the Belize flight for that day. So you'll have to stay overnight for Panama, get the tourist card, and then the following day you will go to Belize. I hope all of that makes sense to you, but it's very common that you have overnight stays and long, what you call it, layovers, but just bear that in mind. Alright guys, let's move into the finding the flight section. Okay, so I'm not gonna go to Google Flights because Google Flights naturally try to route flights through the US, and we're looking for flights for people who only have a CARICOM passport. So let's go. As we mentioned, Copa Airlines is the place to visit, so let's check that out. Copa Airlines, and we're gonna look at flights for Belize. Alright, it's giving me the Spanish version, so I need to translate this to English. Translation English. Oh wait, I think it's here. English. Alright, so we're gonna get the English version of the site. Alright, so we're gonna put in, I could probably put Montego Bay now. Let's try Montego Bay, just so you know that you have options. Okay, Montego Bay, and we are going to Belize, and the airport there is Belize City. Let's put Belize. Let us, hypothetically speaking, put December 19 to December 26, because I think that should be good. Alright, we're going to put round trip, economy class. This is the cheapest class. Exact dates. We could probably put flexible. I guess it doesn't really matter still, but let's see. Let's search. See what comes up. We apologize for the inconvenience, but there are no flights. Ooh. Alright, we might need to back up a bit. COVID time has just messed up everything, man, but I don't think we gotta start over. Okay, let's make it flexible and try again. And it's not working. So here what we're gonna do now. What we're probably gonna do is send it to Panama. I mean, you have to wiggle things around, but send it to Panama, and then get from Panama, we take another plane from Panama to Belize. There are still no flights available. Because what I thought they would have done, okay, see one here? What I thought they would have done is provide it just the same, but tell you that you have to do a different connection. But they're not doing that, so we might have to take two separate flights. If you understand what I'm saying. You have to take a round trip to Panama and then a round trip from Panama to Belize. But they have to sync in a way that you don't miss the flight to go to Belize, or you don't miss the flight from Panama to Jamaica. So you have to give yourself some layover time so that you can transfer. All right, so here's one inbound. Let's click that. All right, so we have one here. Okay, all right, so ooh, there's one from Montego Bay. Okay, so Montego Bay to Panama and Panama and back on the 28th and 21st. These are just dates, you can wiggle them around to fit your purpose. So what I'm gonna do also is open another tab open another tab, and then find one from Panama. Ooh. Find one from Panama to Belize. Where do I change this thing now? New search. Alright, so I'm gonna do a new search and then do one from Panama to Belize, but you also have to ensure that they match up with the time that you're leaving from Jamaica. That makes sense. So this is saying leaving Montego Bay 12:45 p.m. and you're arriving in Panama 2:56 p.m. right? So the flight that you take has to give you some time from 3 p.m. So let's say you could get a flight at 5 p.m. So you'd have approximately 2 hours to like transfer from one immigration area to another. Alright, let's do using the same dates. Let me see what dates are here. 21 and 28. Alright, let's do 21, 28. December 21, December. It's a little tedious, but you know, that's the price you pay. Alright, Panama. Alright, from Panama to Belize. Let's see what comes up. Chances are you might, oh wow, no flights found according to the search criteria. Alright, it might be a case where Belize is not accepting anybody at this time. Belize travel. Traveling to Belize, because we need to see if maybe it's a COVID thing, why we're not seeing any flights, because chances are they are not accepting people at this time. You might have been exposed. CDC. Stay updated. What's the latest on this thing now with Belize? We do invite you to consider postponing rather than cancelling your vacation and visiting, in the effort to keep all Belize travelers informed, providing most of the information. Please note, ensure that I think it might be a case right now that they're not accepting anybody. I could do some more research on it, but you know, let's do Google Flights and see if we can get a flight from Panama to Belize. We're using Google Flights because it might be a different airline. Alright, probably could use a different airline. Once you get to Panama, it's a little easier. Panama City and Belize City using the same time, because we already booked the flight for Montego Bay to Panama. Alright, so let's 21. I'll come back on the 28th, I believe. Alright, hopefully we can find something okay. That's quite interesting, but it's taking you to the US though. That's gonna be a problem. There's Panama to Orlando, which is taking you to the US, 9-hour layover, and then from that airport to that airport. Yeah, that's not necessary. Plus, look at these prices. Not sure what's going on here, but because of COVID time, it's a little challenging to get flights, but you get the idea, right? They don't have any flights right now, and I'm sure it's must be because of COVID, but at this point in time, this is how you search for flights. So it's also back and forth between different platforms to see where you can get the best rate, and sometimes I even go to Skyscanner. That's another one that I use sometimes. Scanner.net. Did not type that right. But using skyscanner.net, if you put in the area, okay, we get that. Panama. I cannot spell for the life of me. All right, we're going to Belize. Belize City. December 21st to 28. See what comes up. Chances are they're gonna route us through the same airports because they're gonna take us to the US. Trying to avoid US giving me UK dollars. I need US dollars. US dollars. And $400 plus. Now, okay, this is not bad. This one here, oh wait, this is taking you to Guatemala. This looks like Guatemala, and then it takes you to Belize. It's a long wait, 12 hours, and then from Guatemala to Belize. I'm not sure why we weren't able to find this on Copa Airlines, because it's going to direct us to the actual site. We might also need things for Guatemala, but it's like you have to wiggle things around to make it work. But Copa Airline is a place to go to just figure things out. There should be a no-stop one from Panama. I am not seeing it, but guys, you get the idea. We don't need to prolong this, and because it's COVID time, it's a little challenging to find the right flights or the right route, or even to find the actual flight. But this is it, guys. I go back and forth between a lot of sites, but when it comes to getting flights without a visa for your CARICOM passport when you're traveling to Belize, Copa Airline is the place. It's one of the airports, or one of the airlines, I should say, that you can check. I hope this was helpful. I know we went through a lot of things here, but I know that it can offer some form of value, so that when you're ready to travel, you know exactly what to do, or at least have some idea. Let's move on to the next section. Common questions. There are a few questions that the immigration officers are going to ask you. And some of the common questions are, why are you coming to the country? Otherwise known as, what is your purpose of travel? I normally tell them tourism, so you can maybe use that as well. You're traveling for tourism. Other question that they may ask you is, where will you be staying, for how long, and can you maintain yourself while living or staying there? On some rare occasion, but they do ask these questions sometime, is how much money are you traveling? So be sure to have all of this information ready, very prepared, so that whenever they ask you, you are not making any mistakes. You know exactly what you are there for. So just remember, just tell them for tourism, and I'm sure you won't have any problem. I know that there are times when you might be traveling and you're staying into multiple hotels at a time, or multiple hotels while you're in a particular country. Just tell them the main place that you'll be staying, meaning where you'll be staying for the most amount of days, so they can contact you if needed, or just something that they have some form of base or emergency if necessary. Some popular attractions in Belize are the Great Blue Hole, the Barrier Reef, and those are great for diving or scuba diving. And what's the other form of diving that they have? Free diving, deep diving, I don't know, but yeah, it's good for diving. On land, we have numerous Mayan sites, like a lot of them. Belize is one of those places that the Mayans settled, so they have tons of old sites that you can look on and, you know, learn about the history of what Belize used to be like back then. They also have a zoo. They have a sanctuary for animal wildlife and jaguar sanctuary, so you can check that out as well. Tons of beaches, as I said before, and numerous other things that you can check out when you're going, if you're considering a trip to Belize. Another thing that I should also mention is that the people are similar to Jamaica in such a way that they can understand patois to some extent. They also speak some form of patois, because when I met somebody from Belize in Las Vegas and I was talking patois, she could understand what I was saying, and she was able to say, okay, you're from Jamaica. And she was talking something that sounded like patois, but I could understand her also. So I hope that when you decide to travel to Belize, you will come into contact with some of these people and you can share something in common. So just bear that in mind. The embassy in Belize. We have a Jamaican consulate in Belize. We don't have an embassy there. We have a consulate, and that is located in Belize City. I will leave the details here so you can see it. And just know that if you're in Belize and you have any questions, we have a representative in Belize to assist you if needed or necessary. That's it, guys, for the Belize episode. I know this was helpful to someone. I confirmed everything with the embassy. They told me that, but please remember that upon publishing this video, things might change. So I've also left the information for the embassies below in the description, so if you need to call them, do so whenever you're ready to travel to Belize. So that's it, guys, and look out for the next video, which is Panama, next week around this time. Well, hopefully around this time. See you later.